Hello and welcome to Columbus, Ohio Hiking Group. These are some tips on hiking in the winter. So hiking in the winter for just a regular day hike does not have to be expensive, and you probably already have in your closet some good layers that you can use to go hiking. So I'm going to share with you some of the layers that are in my closet and some variations of what I have here. So the first thing you want to do and want to think about when you're hiking in the winter is layering clothes. Layering clothes that you can either take off easily if you are getting warm, or unzip if you're getting hot, and then layers that you can add if you're needing a little bit more warmth. So the first thing you want to do is start off with a base layer. This is one of my hiking base layers. It's by Columbia, has that little Omni Shield silvery part inside. When I do my winter hiking or my Appalachian Trail hiking, I'm definitely going to have this on. For my winter hiking, just day hiking around here in the metro parks, this along with my other layers will make me very hot. So I do not wear this on my current winter hikes. What I do start off with is just a regular old tank top, wife beater for the guys. I have that on first. My second layer is going to be a polyester blend, something that has that quick wicking. This is the type of stuff that we normally would grab if we are doing like running, exercising, those type yoga gear, those types of clothing are normally that polyester blend instead of the cotton. You do want to stay away from the cotton. I know that this is my cotton, but I love it and it's working for me for a day hike. If I was doing a several day Appalachian Trail wilderness hike, I would definitely not wear this, and I would wear my base layer instead. Or I would wear, instead of that, I would wear a variation of that, but in this polyester material. The next one for your winter hike that you will have is something that is long sleeve. And this one unzips at the top, which I like because if I am getting a little warm, then I can unzip that to let off some of my steam. I also like, I'm not sure if you can see that in the camera, but this is that quick wicking material as well. Now this is a polyester blend, but on the inside of it, it's got fleece. And that is what's going to help keep you warm in the winter time. This, along with my normal base layer that has a little Omni Shield, those I will like suffocate. I would be way too hot. So that's why I forgo this one, because I know that I'm going to put this over top. And I've done some testing with some testing hikes. I've gone out in 22-degree weather. I've gone out in 7-degree weather. My upper body always stayed warm. One cool really tip that I want to share with you, most of these shirts have this, and it has like this little thumb hole. I love that in the winter time because then you can pull this down over your hand. So if you do need to take your glove off or something like that to take a picture, you still have this helping to keep from the cold air from going up through your sleeve. Wonderful warming tips. So if you're deciding between this, two different ones and one has these, I would definitely get the one that has a little thumb hole there because it makes a world of difference when you're pulling that down over your hand, putting your glove over top of that, and staying warm. So those are my tips for the upper body part of you. Now for the lower body, I am going to start off in general the same way I do with my top, which is with my base layer. Again, this is from my hiking stash, my backpacking stash. It has that Omni Shield material inside. In the winter time, because of the pants that I want to use over top are not very thick, I forgo these and instead I get just some regular old fleece leggings, and they're fleece lined. These I found at Meijer's for $12. They're not very thin, and they have, I'm not sure if the video will show that, but it has this thicker fleece on the inside, nice insulation layer for your legs. I put this on first, and then I have these very thin, I mean, these are probably more like my spring or fall pants, but I just love them so much. They are also by Columbia. That's just a coincidence. but I love how these feel because they are very lightweight. They've got a little bit of a stretchy material, and they are very, very comfortable, but they are not very warm, especially not in 7-degree weather. I about froze my legs off. So what do I do? Because I already had on my fleece base for it, and then I had these on, and then I'm thinking, now what do I do? So ladies, a lot of times our clothing is a little bit more form-fitting, so there wasn't a lot more that I could put underneath these pants other than the leggings. So instead, I have to think of what I'm going to put over top of that. So when you're thinking of layering and purchasing your lower body clothes for layering, make sure that some layers are not quite your exact size and that they are a little bit bigger so that you can have that layering effect. Otherwise, there's no way I'm going to fit a pair of jeans over these or another pair of pants over these or under these, excuse me, under these. It's just, I just don't have enough room for that. So what I grabbed, now this is my cotton. It's not the best, but they're literally just a pair of just like jogging pants type material. And I put this over top of these other 2 layers, and I was warm and snug, and I was very, very comfortable. Another better idea that you can use for your outer layer would be a pair of rain pants over top of my gray pants with my fleece leggings. They're waterproof, as well as because of the material, they're going to keep the heat of your body more inside, and that's going to keep you warm. Let's say that you're like, look, I get really cold, and that's not going to do it for me. Then by all means, come and get these babies, those insulated pants. They got the little rubber grippy to help stay around your legs and feet. Very insulated, very warm. I got this particular pair at Gander Mountain for $50. They are also waterproof, and when I tried them on in the store, I could instantly feel the heat beginning to generate on my legs. So if it is super duper cold and you still want to get out in nature because it's beautiful, or you just need that nice hike, don't let the weather stop you. Just use the proper layers. The next thing you're going to want to do, I'm going to go grab them, is you're going to want to work about your foot gear. You are not going to stay warm if your feet are not warm. So I have these regular old white socks, cotton socks that you can get anywhere. Walmart, Target, Myers, anywhere you can get these socks. Probably already have them in your drawer. They will work in the pinch, but what I would recommend, and these are my favorite, these are called Fits. They are hiking socks. These particular ones are the medium grade, which is a little bit better in the winter time because they're going to give you a little bit more cushion and a little bit more warmth. These are by Fits. They are my favorite, so I would definitely endorse those. The other pair that I also have is called Darn Tough, and also hiking socks, also keep your feet warm. They also have that wicking wool material in them as well. So these particular socks you're not going to find everywhere. You're going to have to go to an outfitter store. My favorite is Clintonville Outfitters. They are on High Street in Clintonville area. They'll take real good care of you. Mike or Matt and Jonathan will take real good care of you there. These, if this is what you have, go ahead and use them. However, make sure that you are bringing an extra pair of socks to change out of these. Even if you're wearing your hiking socks, bring an extra pair of socks. Your feet are going to sweat, and you're going to want to get that moisture away from your feet so that you can, continue to hiking. You don't get blisters and all those other types of problems. The other thing that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to move the camera for this one, is going to be your shoes. So for shoes, I have 4 options down here, and I have hiked in all 4 of these pairs of shoes. Now I started with, of course, just my regular old tennis shoes. They will work in the pinch. They are not high top though, and so right now we've got some snow on the ground. You're going to probably get a little bit wet, but again, just bring an extra pair of shoes, extra pair of socks, and even an extra pair of pants to change into in case the bottom layers of your pants are getting wet. My next pair that I graduated to was my first pair of hiking shoes by Merle. These were lovely and wonderful, but somehow either my foot grew or something and those babies no longer fit, so those are going on the selling block. My next pair that, as you can tell, are very nice and worn. I love these babies. These are by Triva, and these are a little bit more high top. I do like that. It's really a personal preference. Because it does come up a little bit and I can hike in them in the snow still. But it really, high top or low top, that's a personal preference. Brand is a personal preference. Your feet have to be comfortable. So purchase the shoes that fit your foot and you can walk for hours in. I'm just sharing with you what I have, but it is not an endorsement on shoes. You've got to be comfortable. My other babies are my big winter boots. And you can definitely hike in these as well. These, I would definitely wear the white socks instead of your hiking socks, only because these are designed to be very, very insulating. And they have kept my feet nice and dry and nice and warm. Long hikes, if I'm doing, the trails, I'm definitely going to do my hiking boots. And it also keeps your feet conditioned to wearing those shoes for long periods of time. So these I'm going to normally hike in all the time unless we just have a lot of snow and I want to wear something new. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the yak track that I have on the sole of this particular shoe. They make them in higher quality or intensity depending on if you're going to be hiking in a place with lots of ice, or if you're just hiking out here on the trails, these will do just fine. Again, you're going to have to go to an outfitter store for these. I have not seen these so far in Walmart or Target or those regular stores. Not to say that they won't ever have them, but normally you are going to have to go to a outfitter store. And these here, they just fit over, as you can tell, just the sole of the shoe. What I would recommend is getting the one that has the strap that goes across the top. Because I have found where I was walking and then when I'm coming back on the trail, all of a sudden I see my yak track laying on the trail and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's mine. So that you don't lose them, either put a strap like a Velcro, make a Velcro strap that goes across the foot here, or buy the ones that already have it on there. That would be my recommendation on that. Lastly, we're going to talk about our outer gear. I'm going to move the camera one more time for that. So lastly, which is the normal, would be your winter coat. Get one that, I like the ones with hoods because sometimes when you're out on the trail, the wind starts to pick up, and it is nice to be able to pull that hood over your head to help block some of that wind. Another one, just make it comfortable for you. I like this kind of material, but the ones that are down-filled as well, that are a little bit lighter weight, those work just fine too. Again, that's personal preference, but it's all about you being and staying warm. Make sure you have a scarf. Some people like to a good friend of mine tried to go out there without a scarf and had his cute little leather jacket on and had it unzipped all the way down the Fonzie style. Yeah, not on a winter hike. If you're going on a date, you're out in a town, that's all good, fine. But this is about staying warm and so that you can enjoy your hike, so that you're not out there freezing and you are out there having a good time just as much as you would maybe during the summer or during the fall. So always have a scarf. Again, you start to get hot, it's easy to do it like that, easy to take it and just hang it that way, so that way you still have it on you. You still have it with you, but if you're starting to get warm, which I get warm a lot, it's nothing for me to pull it like this and then carry it. But then if I start to get cold again, if I'm stopping and I'm taking pictures like I always will, then I'm going to need to, oh, okay, I'm getting a little chilly, put it back on. Another thing is either a good hat or a good pair of earmuffs. I love this hat. This is my favorite. I like that it pulls down over my ears. If I want to get it, leave it more stuck, I can tie it. But I've also seen, the other hats that guys wear. I saw a gentleman have one of those on it, and also earmuffs. again, because you're layering, you can take these layers off if you need to, if you are starting to get hot. But if you are already maxed out with your clothes and you don't bring something extra and you start to get cold, you don't have more that you can put on. And it's all about you being warm and comfortable out there and being able to walk. I don't want you to be like the kid from the Christmas Story where he could barely walk. Lastly, we're going to talk about gloves. I have 2 different pair here. This one, the black one, is definitely warmer, but this one here will control all of my gadgets. So when I go hiking, I'm actually going to have my right hand with this blue glove on and my left hand with my warmer glove on. Because it's 7 degrees outside, and taking your hands out of your gloves and trying to take that picture, it's very uncomfortable. So definitely get the gloves. I love the ones that have the 3 fingers. So I have the thumb, index, and the middle finger. You can use that to zoom in, zoom out if you need to when you're taking that picture, and it's wonderful time. The only other things that you might need or might want to think about is some walking sticks or trek poles. Those would be great to have in the event that it's icy or snowy. They really help you to stabilize your balance, and so that you don't slip and fall and that you are enjoying yourself out there. So if there's anything you think I missed or any other questions that you may have, please leave a comment below and I will get back to you. Also, make sure you join our group, the Columbus, Ohio Hiking Group on Facebook. Check out my website at KimberlyMiddleton.com, and I'll see you on the trails. Happy hiking.